All right, so Bitcoin has officially hit all-time record highs of over $80,000 per coin, and we're seeing it well on its way to reaching $100,000 per coin before the end of the year. So if you're looking at the overall market right now, there's a lot to be excited about with meme coins, which are rallying over 100% over the last week, with altcoins that are really starting to pick up traction, and especially with Bitcoin. And if we start off with a few meme coins before we get into some major price predictions that have come out with Bitcoin, some major institutions that are talking about Bitcoin, let's start off by talking about Petto, because Petto is a project that we talked about just last week. And in the video that we did, they had raised $212,000, but currently this project has already raised over $350,000 since we last spoke. And this is an absolute major milestone in my opinion, because like I said, with the overall market rallying, with all these major price predictions coming out, this is a project that could potentially be the next Pepe. Really see those massive gains that you won't see with some of the larger altcoins or even blue chip projects. You're not going to see the gains that you would see with the likes of Petto. So I'll link our previous video down below, but Petto is a project that is offering over 2,400% staking rewards. If you're looking at how much has already been staked, there is a significant amount of this token that has been staked. 3 trillion tokens have been staked, and it's something that you're definitely going to want to be keeping an eye out on. In addition to Petto, another project that's in pre-sale that we've talked about quite a bit is Fred the Dog, because Fred the Dog is a project that I've talked about in previous videos, and I've said, look, this is a project that makes me extremely excited because it's piggybacking off of the dog memes. We always have seen Dogecoin and Shiba Inu really explode in value, so that's something I really like to see. But not only this, with Fred the Dog, it has an entire ecosystem that they are building out, and it's still in its pre-sale. So much like these other projects we've been talking about, this project has consistently raised a lot of money, gained a lot of support over on X and in its community, and this is why I've doubled down on this position, because the price has consistently increased over time. So what you see is right now, one Fred is equal to 0.000192, but soon that's going to be increasing yet again. With this project, as we've spoken about in other videos, some of the key things I'm looking out for on their roadmap is, well, they don't have an exact date for launch just yet. We could see that right now we are in the early stages of this, really just into phase 2. We're seeing blockchain testing and the pre-sale taking place. Then we'll see marketing campaigns and exchange listings. This is planned for Q4 of this year and into Q1 of next year. So these are things that I'm excited about, but the bigger things are the long-term developments. They're developing a video game, animated movie, clothing collection, and then later on there's going to be launching video games and even building shelters, hotels, and vet clinics. And personally, I have 2 dogs. One of them's a rescue, one's not, and so I'm keeping an eye out on this because project that I like the brand, I like their idea behind it, and I like what they support. Now let's switch gears and talk about these major price predictions going on with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has surpassed $88,000 per coin, even surpassed $89,000 per coin. And while in the short term, a lot of people are talking about the $100,000 per coin level, we've actually seen some major asset managers and major investment firms come out and say, look, based on our models, they can predict and they can see Bitcoin reaching $3 million per token. And what happened is that VanEck, one of the largest asset managers in the world, they said, if we are looking at the current pattern, they said Bitcoin's long-term growth following the election, yes, could reach $180,000 per coin following the election. This would be the smallest ever trough to peak rally for Bitcoin, because the smallest ever was 2,000%, and if we do that, we'd only be at 1,000%. But they said by 2050, their model assumes that Bitcoin becomes a reserve asset that's used in global trade and held by global central banks. And they said at a very modest 2% weight, that would be equivalent to nearly $3 million price target for Bitcoin. And he says that may sound ridiculous, that may sound crazy, but by 2050, that would simply be a 16% compound annual growth rate for a couple of decades. And that's not really too extreme. We've seen compound annual growth rates of around 7 to 10% in the stock market over the last couple of decades. Recently, it's been even higher than that, but this is not a prediction that would really be too unlikely, especially considering what's going on in the U.S. economy and what's going on with U.S. policy, specifically around crypto. In addition to this, if we're looking at Bitcoin, like I said, Bitcoin has broken above $89,000 per coin. And the key thing with it is that we've seen Bitcoin hit all-time record highs in terms of price and also all-time record highs in terms of the overall cryptocurrency market cap. This means that crypto and its overall market cap could soon surpass France's entire GDP. So for people who say Bitcoin and crypto that you're still really early, yes, you're early, but we're not really that early. We're seeing major economies around the world already be valued at less than the overall crypto market. So we already are seeing, for example, Spain's GDP. Right now, Bitcoin's market cap alone, just Bitcoin, not the entire crypto market, Bitcoin's market cap alone is over $1.77 trillion, which is larger than Spain's GDP. We're seeing that the overall crypto market, like I said, is soon going to surpass France's total GDP. So when you're looking at these numbers, like, yes, we're early, but if you're looking at Bitcoin and you're saying, where before anyone else is getting involved, that's simply not the case. Yes, there's still a massive opportunity. Yes, Bitcoin's price is still projected to go to, millions of dollars per coin over the next few decades, but there's really no more time to wait. You can't just sit on the sidelines. If you're interested, you've talked about crypto, you've looked at crypto, it's really like this is a sign that you need to be involved now, and whether you're going to see prices dip 20, 30% over the next couple of months or next year, like ultimately long term, we are already seeing mass adoption take place, and it's not going to go away. It's always going to be here. It's always something you need to be looking at. Last few things I want to go over is going to be major thing that happened with Bitcoin surpassing silver. So right now, Bitcoin is officially the 8th largest asset in the world. It has surpassed silver, and it's only behind gold, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Saudi Aramco. So out of all the assets in the world, right now, Bitcoin has surpassed silver, and a lot of people are projecting that Bitcoin could very easily surpass gold over the next few decades. That would put Bitcoin right around a $800,000 to $900,000 per coin range. That is excluding any additional, increases that we'll see in gold over the next couple of decades. That excludes anything with inflation. That's just based off of today's prices. So when you're looking at all these predictions, it seems very, very possible that we could see Bitcoin reach the $1 million to $3 million per coin range. Not anytime soon, but if you simply buy it, forget about it. Like, it could likely be, $1 million to a couple $1 million per token asset. Last thing I want to go over is going to be with ChainGPT, because right now we've seen that ChainGPT has rallied quite a bit over the last couple of days. If you look at the last 7 days, ChainGPT is up 21%. It did cross above 15 cents per token. Right now it's right around that 13.5 cents per token, but recently they announced major partnerships with Travala, and also they've started to roll out and announce new launches that are taking place on their launchpad, ChainGPT Pad. So with the overall market flipping and ChainGPT being at the center of AI in the crypto space, having their launchpad, I'm expecting ChainGPT to reclaim those previous highs that we had seen and, start to surpass that previous all-time high of over 50 cents per token. So this is a product that I have quite a bit of. I've been invested in it for a long time now, and I think it's about time we do an update on it, because we've talked about major partnerships, but right now is really the best opportunity to get involved, because we've seen Bitcoin rally. We've started to see Ethereum rally, but a lot of altcoins still are yet to see all-time record highs and really start to break out.